Solving word problems that require systems of equations. A veterinarian needs 60 pounds of dog food that is 15% protein. He will combine a beef mix that is 18% protein with a bacon mix that is 9% protein. How many pounds of each does he need to make a 15% protein mixture? First thing we need to do is set up a system of equations. So we know that he needs a total of 60 pounds of food. So the beef and the bacon mix has to equal 60 pounds. So if beef is X and bacon is Y, then we can figure out the percentage of the protein breakdown, because that's the other bit of information. So the beef mix is 18%, so 0.18X plus 0.09Y equals 15% of the total mixture, so 15% of 60, or 0.15 of 60. And then I want to just simplify this. I'm going to change this and do substitution because I think that's the easiest way to do it. So if I were to do substitution, if I subtracted the X over, then I would have Y equals 60 minus X. And that would be the first equation, and then my second equation would be 0.18x plus 0.09y equals 0.15 times 60 is actually going to be 9, so I'm just going to write 9 there. And that is my new system of equations. And then I just solve that. So I can use substitution here, and if I use substitution, then it would be 0.18 x plus 0.09 times my y, which is actually 60 minus x, equals 9. So then I distribute, and I get 0.18x plus 0.09 times 60 is going to give me a 5.4. And then 0.09 times negative x is minus 0.09x equals 9. And then I just simplify. So that's going to give me 0.09x plus 5.4 equals 9. Combine my like terms. Subtract the 5.4 over 0.09x. If you subtract the 5.4, that equals 3.6. Divide by 0.09. So we know that x equals 40. If you type that into the calculator. Once we have x, then we take that x and we put it into our one of our original equations. So if I put the x in here, then I have y equals 60 minus 40, so y equals 20. Now, what does this information mean? You need to tell me what that means. So, x was stood for the beef, so we need 40 pounds of beef. And the 20, the y, stood for the bacon, so 20 pounds of bacon. And that would be your final answer. In this next example, we have a coffee blend that contains Sumatra beans, which cost $5 per pound, and Kona beans, which cost $13 per pound. If the blend costs $10 per pound, how much of each type of coffee is in 50 pounds of the blend? Okay, so this is a very similar question to the one we just had. So total, we need Sumatra beans and Kona beans, which are 50 pounds. There are 50 pounds total. So that's my first equation. My second equation will have to do with the cost, because that's the other bit of information that we have. Cost of each individual type and the cost we want of the total. So $5 for Sumatra beans plus $13 for Kona beans equals $10 for the total of 50 pounds of beans. All right, so simplifying that, we would get S plus K equals 50, and 5S plus 13K equals 10 times 50, which is 500. Okay, now, in general, we could also solve this one using substitution, but in this case, I'm going to use elimination just to show you the other method. So multiply by a -5 here, each of them, and we would get a -5s plus, or minus rather, plus a -5k equals -250. The second equation would stay the same as 5s plus 13k equals 500. And now using the elimination method, if we add down, s's are going to cancel, leaving me with a 8k equals 250. And then you divide by 8, and k equals 250 divided by 8, which would give you 31.25. So that's k. Once you know k, you can easily find s, because we know that s plus k equals 50. So if I put 31.25 in for k, then what I have is s plus 31.25 equals 50. Subtract the 31.25 and s equals 18.75. So if we put this stuff together and understand what it actually means, it means that 18.75 pounds of the coffee needs to be Sumatra beans, and 31.25 pounds of the coffee needs to be Kona beans. And that is your final answer. So that's how it should be written. And those are your notes over solving systems of word problems. Go through the practice problems. Make sure that you can create these equations on your own and then solve them. And then you will be prepared for the quiz.